Have you ever struggled with having too much ease on a sleeve cap, which makes it really hard to sew into that armhole without getting excessive puckering? In this video, we are going to be talking about what sleeve cap ease is, how to measure it, and I'm going to be sharing with you my recommendations on how much sleeve cap ease you might need. So this information was taken directly from my online course, Mastering Garment Ease, and I thought it would be helpful to share with everyone. What is sleeve cap ease and why is it important in fitting? Well, there is extra fabric in the sleeve cap area, which allows a slight rounded shape. When we look at the sleeve pattern and compare it to the armhole pattern, we have a difference there. The sleeve is usually bigger than the armhole on woven styles. Because the sleeve is bigger, we need to do 2 baste stitches and ease in the sleeve cap into the armhole. Now, the reason why we need to do this is because it offers a nice curvature to the sleeve, which mimics the body curvature. So this curvature that's created from the ease is a very important part in the fitting process. So the goal is to not have too much puckering, but have a slight amount of ease, which gives a nice rounded fullness to the shape. How do you find the amount of ease in your sleeve? I'm going to show you how to measure the sleeve and the armhole and determine that ease amount. You can download the worksheet to follow along with me and use this calculator worksheet anytime you're checking your sleeves. All right, I'm going to be showing you how to measure the armhole and the sleeve cap. This is also discussed on pages 45 and 46 in the fitting book, but let's do it together. Step number 1 in measuring a pattern is marking the seam line, which means we have to account for the seam allowance, and we go in from that seam allowance edge. For example, here I'm using the green pattern piece, and I've marked my 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter seam line all the way around my entire pattern. Then from here, I can start measuring the pattern. As we're measuring curves, we always need to use a pivoting method. We place the tape measure on the inside of the pattern piece and we slowly pivot along that seam line. We allow the tape measure to move with the seam. Now, when we're measuring curves, it is really hard to get those curves exact, and often you should measure twice and take the average of the 2. So write down whatever measurement you have. You can plug it into the freebie calculator for the sleeve cap measurement. Now we have the armhole seam, and the same exact step that we mark those seam lines from the seam allowance edge. It's really important. We're always measuring to that line. And again, we're using that pivoting method. We start in the corner and we pivot our way around the pattern. We're always measuring those curves on the inside of the pattern piece. If you measure on the outside, it results in a different measurement. So it's important to be measuring from the inside of the pattern piece. Now you'll repeat that same exact step for the back. We're going to measure along the inside of the pattern, pivoting as we go. So this is the back armhole. Plug those measurements into that free calculator and you'll see the amount of ease you have in your sleeve. I want to show you a standard pattern that you might find in a commercial or indie pattern. This is a standard sleeve shape. Now I want to share with you corrections that I've made based on my customized ease standards, which has got me way closer to the fit I desire. So this is the same exact pattern, but you can see that that shaping reflects my body shape so much more. We have more of a round shape in the front, which allows for that forward rotation of the shoulder tip. Now, since every person has different shapes in that upper portion, most pattern companies start with a more basic pattern shape. and they allow a lot more ease in that shape because it has to fit a variety of different shoulder positions. That rotated forward shoulder will be different on every person. It could be further back, could be more forward. And so because of that, most pattern companies add extra ease to account for that difference in shaping. The closer you get to your body shape in that sleeve pattern, the less ease you need. Now, the other thing to consider is the fabric type. So there is one specific characteristic that we are looking for in the amount of ease we have in our sleeves, and that is the density of the fabric. So if you are enjoying this video, I want you to go ahead and click the like button below. If you want to keep watching to find out the answer, hit the thumbs up and let me know that you're enjoying it. Let's talk about that fabric characteristic of the density. The denser the fabric is, the less ease you need, because the more puckering will be created. Usually the density is directly related to the size of the yarns in the fabric. The finer the fabric yarns, the more dense the fabric weave, and vice versa. So the looser the density means usually those yarns are bigger and the fabric is looser. When you have a looser density, you can have more ease in there. So on a standard blouse, when I have the same exact shaping that I need, I only need about 1/4 of an inch, which is 6 millimeters of ease in that sleeve, up to about 3/8 of an inch, which is 1 centimeter. Now, when we have a knit garment, usually there is 0 ease in the sleeve. That means the sleeve measurement should equal the front plus the back armhole measurements. So that's generally my starting point for the ease amounts. I really try to dial in that shaping to make sure it's correct. In order to do any sort of sleeve pattern adjustments, I show all of these in the Mastering Garment Ease online course. And if you want to learn more about that, I do have a free webinar, Mastering Garment Ease. You can click the link in the description below and register for that webinar today. If you haven't already, make sure you download that free sleeve to armhole ease exercise worksheet and use those measurements as you're analyzing both the fabrics and the patterns. I'm Gina Renee, and I absolutely love teaching online pattern making courses so that you can design and create clothes you love that fit. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.